Hi, my name's Davi Sherman, and this is my NUin experience. Coming from a small town of only 13,000 in Massachusetts, I never imagined myself moving to a city of over 7 million as only a freshman in college. When I received my acceptance letter from Northeastern University with the opportunity to choose London as both my home and place of study for 4 months, I couldn't resist. After saying some of the most bittersweet goodbyes to my friends, family, and 2 dogs, I was off, moving 3,268 miles away from my hometown for what would soon become an experience of a lifetime. After moving into my new flat in the Royal Borough of South Kensington and Chelsea, I fell in love with London. On a daily basis, I was surrounded by beautiful streets, classic cars, and interesting street art. And with each time I almost got hit by a double-decker bus, I learned just a little bit more about navigating a big city. Almost as soon as I moved into Manson Place, I found myself exploring the countless boroughs of London, all of which are distinctly different and unique. From losing myself in Shoreditch, where my art history class took a particularly memorable street art tour, and where I found some of the best vintage flea markets, to exploring the alleys of Brick Lane, to sampling a wide variety of street food at East London's urban food markets, to being bombarded by squirrels in St. James's Park, and spending time with friends on Carnaby Street. London has presented me with new and exciting places throughout the semester. I even found some little hints of Boston throughout the city. All of the initial challenges that I faced here, like cooking my own food, getting to Foundation House on time for classes, sharing a flat with 11 other girls, and some live-in guests like Mason, have all become manageable aspects of my college experience. Throughout the semester, I've been able to make the entire city of London my school by taking countless field trips to museums, East London, some pretty bizarre art galleries throughout the city, theater shows, and more. Weekly BLC excursions to places like Kew Gardens, and the Victoria and Albert Museum have also taught me valuable information about London's diverse culture and history, and have provided me with a more profound understanding of the city's arts. Although exploring London has been an incredible experience, I also took time during my mid-semester break and over the many weekends to travel to various European countries. For my first trip outside of the city, I traveled to Basel, Switzerland, a small artistic city that seems to have more in common with an 18th century village than with a bustling metropolis like London. Visits to the acclaimed Baylor Foundation and Kunstmuseum, as well as food and flower markets in Basel's city center, sparked my travel bug. And in the course of only 3 months, I found myself traveling to Belgium, Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, and Portugal. From eating the best chocolate I've had, to watching a parade in Antwerp, Belgium, to appreciating the history and beauty of the Berlin Wall, to having breakfast at some of Vienna's oldest and most beautiful cafes, to watching light shows, to feeling like I was in a fairy tale in the old city squares of Prague, to wandering Lisbon's cobblestone roads, enjoying the sun for the first time in a while, watching Portuguese street performers, and witnessing some of the most breathtaking views and architecture in Europe, my trips abroad have all offered something unique and unforgettable. This learning has been yet another amazing aspect of my experiential learning. For 8 weeks, I worked at the Ben Jonson Primary School, where I organized games and activities for school children during their recess period. I also spent time with other Northeastern students doing volunteer work at the Arbor Center for a Halloween event. As I prepare to make Northeastern's Boston campus my home in January, I know that everything I have learned and experienced here in London will follow me not only throughout my college career, but also throughout the rest of my life. These past 4 months have taught me how to be more engaged, proactive, and curious, and have provided me with friendships and stories that I know I'll hold on to for years to come.